Kansas City burnt ends. Not an ancient dish, not an old one. Born here, in the smoke of a Kansas City pit, barely a lifetime ago. The burnt, blackened ends of the brisket that no one was ever supposed to want. For most of its life, this was not a dish at all. It was a scrap. The point end of the brisket, cooked too long, too dark, too far. The pitmaster's portion, the piece handed away to whoever stood closest to the fire. It takes 8 hours of smoke and 2 more in the glaze. There is no shortcut. There has never been a shortcut. Only the patience of low heat and the long wait for the bark to form. Servings 6. 30 minutes of preparation. 8 hours of cooking. Total time 8.5 hours. 6 pounds of beef brisket. Point 2 tablespoons of kosher salt. 2 tablespoons of coarse black pepper. 1 tablespoon of paprika. 1 tablespoon of garlic powder. 1 teaspoon of onion powder. Half a cup of dark molasses. 1/4 cup of maple syrup. Half a cup of apple cider vinegar. 6 ounces of tomato paste. 1/4 cup of gluten-free tamari. And 1 tablespoon of olive oil. Begin with the point. Trim away the hard fat, leaving 1/4 inch of the soft cap to melt slowly into the meat. In a small bowl, the salt and the coarse pepper, the paprika, the garlic, the onion. Press the rub into every side, firmly, until the spice clings to the beef like a second skin. Bring the smoker to 225 degrees over oak or hickory. Lay the brisket on the grate, fat side up, and then you wait. Close the lid. Let the smoke do what only smoke can do. 6 hours, sometimes more. The fat renders, drop by drop. The surface darkens from red to mahogany to near black. This is the bark. It forms only in the slow hours, when the heat is gentle enough to be patient. When the inside reaches 195 degrees, the point is ready. Lift it out. Let it rest on the board. 20 quiet minutes. Now, the knife. Slice the rested point into cubes, 1 inch each one, through the dark bark into the soft, glistening center. Listen, the crust gives way and the steam rises. Slow. The glaze, dark molasses and maple, apple cider vinegar, tomato paste, and the gluten-free tamari deep and savory, in place of the old Worcestershire. Whisk it together until it runs thick and glossy. Then fold the cubes through until every one is heavy with lacquer. Into the pan, a single layer. Back to the smoker. 2 more hours. Stir once, halfway through, and watch the glaze turn from wet to sticky to the candied, caramelized shell that gives burnt ends their name. History and cultural origins. Kansas City barbecue begins with one man, Henry Perry, who came up from the South and in the early 1900s sold smoked meats from a stand wrapped in newspaper. They called him the father of Kansas City barbecue. The smoke he started never went out. It grew in a neighborhood called 18th and Vine, the heart of Black Kansas City, where jazz spilled from the clubs and smoke drifted from the pits. The pitmasters who carried this craft north came in the Great Migration, bringing with them the slow fires of the South. Barbecue here was never fast food. It was a craft and a community. One of Barry's students opened a place of his own, Arthur Bryant's. There, the burnt tips of the brisket were trimmed away and set on the counter, free for the people waiting in line. In 1972, a writer named Calvin Trillin called it the single best restaurant in the world and told the country about the burnt ends. What had been a scrap became a thing people drove for miles to taste. Today, burnt ends are Kansas City's own. You will find them at every barbecue counter, at backyard gatherings, at festivals along the river. They are served at celebrations, at reunions, and on the long, slow weekends when there is finally time enough to wait for the smoke. A dish that began as the part nobody wanted is now the part everyone asks for first. Spoon them warm from the pan, sticky and dark, the bark, the glaze, and the soft center, all at once, no fork required, only your fingers and a little patience repaid. Kansas City burnt ends are the rarest kind of recipe, one born not of plenty, but of thrift. They survive because someone refused to throw away the burnt and the broken, and found, in the part that was nearly lost, the best part of all. And the table, at last, is set.